What if one of the biggest stories of the 20th century was never fully resolved? For decades, the official story has been that Adolf Hitler died in a bunker beneath Berlin in April of 1945. Case closed. But then you start digging. Declassified intelligence files, witness reports, submarine rumors, Nazi escape networks, German compounds in Argentina, Patagonia estates, missing records, conflicting Soviet statements, and suddenly the story gets a lot more complicated. I just finished watching the Hunting Hitler series, and whether you agree with the conclusions or not, one thing becomes very clear. There were absolutely organized escape routes out of Europe after World War II. Not conspiracy theory, not internet mythology, historical fact. Thousands of Nazis escaped Europe through what became known as the Ratlines. Some ended up in Argentina, Paraguay, Bolivia, Brazil, and we know this because many of them were eventually found. Adolf Eichmann was captured in Argentina. Josef Mengele disappeared into South America for decades. Klaus Barbie lived openly in Bolivia. So when people immediately dismiss the idea that senior Nazis escaped, that part isn't even debated anymore. They did. The real question is whether Hitler himself was among them. Now, to be clear, most historians still believe Hitler died in the bunker. There's substantial evidence supporting that conclusion, especially dental evidence and witness testimony. But here's where it gets interesting. The Soviet investigation was chaotic. Some evidence disappeared, some reports contradicted each other, and Soviet officials themselves spread multiple versions of the story. Then intelligence agencies spent years tracking possible sightings in South America. Were they chasing ghosts, Cold War paranoia, or something else? That uncertainty is what keeps the theory alive, because history gets strange when governments lie, records disappear, and intelligence agencies start quietly investigating the same rumors for decades. But honestly, the bigger story may not even be Hitler. The bigger story is the global network that existed after the war. Money, intelligence agencies, industrial interests, escape pipelines, safe houses, new identities, financial protection systems, that's the rabbit hole. Because once you realize how many high-ranking Nazis actually escaped, you start asking different questions about the post-war world entirely. I want to start digging deeper into this history. The Ratlines, post-war intelligence operations, Argentina, Cold War geopolitics, hidden financial networks, and how much of the official story was actually narrative management. Not to push fantasy, not to rewrite history recklessly, but because understanding how power really operates behind the scenes matters. If you want more deep dive historical investigations like this, follow along, because the deeper you go into 20th century history, the stranger it gets.